Coming over. Afternoon, how are you? Not too bad.
I'm just stand a distance away from you so I don't have to wear a mask.
Yep, that's fine. That's not a problem.
Only reason I popped up, mate, there's no issue with you filming, you're in a public place.
Yep.
Obviously, it is a sensitive location, it's a police station,
Yep.
as you can probably appreciate.
Yep.
Can I just ask what the reason for filming is today?
Well, first of all, would you mind identifying yourself first?
PC Soper from Surrey Police.
And your collar number?
40894.
No worries.
Yes, what's your reason for filming?
For public interest.
Public interest,
Yep.
okay. And what is that interest exactly?
Well, it's to do with a DC Murdoch that was actually sacked from Surrey Police.
Okay.
Okay, for contaminating evidence, okay, and sexual offences as well.
Okay.
That were committed towards the end of last year, and literally where he's been given the sack, and just to see whether or not, I know the worst thing that serving officers hate, okay, is somebody that is serving, okay, to commit crimes like that, okay, and there's nothing worse than a bank copper.
The interaction begins quietly outside a police headquarters, where a member of the public is filming from a distance. Officers immediately clarify that filming is allowed because the location is public, even though it is considered sensitive due to it being a police station. The tone from the very start remains calm, respectful, and professional on both sides.
And literally, I know serving good coppers literally do hate that. Okay, and literally just to see if anyone's got any response on that.
Okay, so, yeah, all good, all good. Unfortunately, you're unlikely to get a response from any police officers, especially in uniform, especially on camera up here, because obviously we would be impartial in everything that we do.
Yep.
Obviously, if there had been any investigation into somebody, I'm not aware of the case.
Yep.
As such, but had there been any investigation, that would have been handled by our Professional Standards Department. And ordinarily, especially with stuff that's quite sensitive with officers and such, they will put out some sort of public sort of press release or something like that. They put out
I know it's been in the press. It's been in the press. Okay, and I know charges were actually filed,
Okay.
but then they were basically swept under the carpet, so to speak.
Okay, so if charges were filed, then that would have been the police charging.
The individual asks the officer to identify himself before answering questions. The officer complies without hesitation, providing his name, role, and collar number. This moment highlights transparency and shows how professional identification can immediately reduce tension during public interactions.
We've gone to the Crown Prosecution Service, who are independent to us.
Yep.
Again, tell me if contains teaching to sack eggs,
Yep.
Which is separate, obviously, to the police. And obviously, they will look at whether it's in the public interest. I can't comment on the case. I don't know the case, and it wouldn't be.
No, that's
proper of me
perfectly
to
fine.
comment either.
That's perfectly fine. Sorry, just one
obviously,
second. Are you an officer as well?
I am just a plainclothes officer.
Yes.
Okay. Would you mind identifying yourself,
Yeah,
please?
I'm PC 41456, Sean Smith.
Okay. No worries. Now I take it you're attached here as well, yes?
No.
Oh,
good,
I'm the
good.
traffic.
Okay. No worries.
There's very few police officers actually up here. It's more of an admin base.
Yeah, well,
in
it's
operation.
only because it's your actual HQ for Surrey, okay, was the main reason, literally, just to come down and see what people's views are, literally, down here.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. Like I say, I think you're unlikely to get anybody to converse with you up here.
The filmer explains that the reason for recording is public interest. He references a former officer who was dismissed over serious misconduct allegations, including evidence contamination and sexual offenses. His goal, he explains, is not to attack the police, but to understand how serving officers feel about such cases.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Hello, PC Soper. Yes, we'll be very shortly. I'm just up at the HQ at the moment with the chap who's filming outside, but we're all in order. No, it's not, no. See you in a bit. See you later. Bye bye. Yeah, like I say, because effectively, because of the sort of the professional standards that we have to adhere to, it's unlikely that anybody's going to say anything about it. I can categorically say you will not get any comments from uniformed police officers on that case.
Yeah, but it's not even so much getting an actual verbal thing, okay? It's literally, even when you look at serving officers' actual body languages, okay, and you see the way that they actually, when it's actually put to them, in the way that they go, because literally they're not happy, okay, and we all do understand that you guys have got one hell of a job to do, okay, and it's like literally I'm just here literally just to see if you guys do actually have a response. If not, okay, literally.
The officer responds carefully, explaining that serving officers cannot comment publicly, especially on camera. He emphasizes the importance of impartiality and explains that any investigation into police misconduct is handled by the Professional Standards Department, not frontline officers.
There's a lot of members of the public, okay, that fully support you in every form of way, okay, because you do have a difficult job to do, okay, and literally it takes the police and the public to work together, okay, for there to be a stronger society, and that is what needs to be done. But at this moment in time, a lot of the public believe that literally there is a big divide. There is a big divide, which is a great shame. When you actually think about the reason why the police are there, how the police performed, okay, and what was actually done, I think even if you go right the way back in time to when it all actually started, okay, literally, I think a lot of those officers back then would most probably be turning in their graves with the way that some things have actually turned out, but then in other things they'd be very happy.
No, I can agree with you in some respect there. But also in regards to the wrongdoing in officers,
The conversation shifts toward the criminal justice process. The officer explains that if charges were filed, decisions would ultimately rest with the Crown Prosecution Service, which operates independently from the police. This reinforces the separation between policing and prosecution.
Stuff like that. The PSD sort of level, professional standards level, and the involvement in the way that we can refer things to professional standards within Surrey is very good. I often see stuff on Facebook and stuff saying, oh, racists can hide in there, all this sort of stuff. It's actually very difficult for somebody who was doing something wrong or who did have racist views or might be doing wrongdoing to hide in the police, because like you say, majority of police officers, or in fairness, 99% of police officers, 99.9999% of police officers join the police to stop exactly that.
And I perfectly agree with you on that, okay, because as I said, I think it takes a very, very special person to actually join the police. Okay, because of what it details, okay? It's not something you can just walk in, okay? Literally the next day you're out on the street. It's quite a process.
It takes a little while, even when you're out on the street, it's a bit of a culture shock as well.
The officer reassures the filmer that recording in public is allowed. However, he explains that entering the police building changes the situation, as the reception area is private property, even though it is publicly accessible. Filming inside would likely require permission.
The way that some people react as well, no, like I say, by all means, there's no issue with you filming. You're in a public place.
Okay, so what I will actually ask you, okay, regarding where I can actually go to, okay, as you know, there is no actual gate here, okay, so I can actually go into the actual main reception, yes?
You can walk through the site down to reception.
Yep.
It is private ground.
Yep.
Albeit there's no gates on it.
Yep.
I think the ideology being that it's accessible for the public to wander in and report stuff to us. Obviously, if you are asked to leave, like any other private ground, you have to leave. But there's no sort of rights of access to it.
Yep.
There's a footpath that runs around the outside. However, in fairness, at reception, there is front counter staff. They are police staff. They are police officers. They definitely won't be able to come.
The filmer makes it clear he has no intention of causing conflict. He explains that he is calm, respectful, and simply wants clarity. He even states that he waited for officers to approach him first rather than walking inside unannounced.
On anything, and it's unlikely that you'll be able to film inside, because then you're in a private setting and you would need police permission to film. And knowing our media department, it's unlikely that they will.
But the actual main reception, okay, is open to the public, yes? Okay.
It's open to the public, but within a private building. So it's the same as if you went to Sainsbury's.
Well, it belongs. It comes in under Surrey Police's property, yes. So that means then it's a public building.
So it's owned. It's funded by the public purse.
Yep.
Strictly, as of a few years ago when PCCs were introduced, anything that is owned by Surrey Police is owned by the Office for the Police Crime Commissioner. So our cars are owned by them.
Yep.
Effectively, they are private entities that Surrey Police own, albeit paid for with public money, but it doesn't make it a public building. So it's not like a I can't even think. The
discussion deepens into the broader relationship between police and the public. The filmer acknowledges that policing is a difficult job and expresses concern that a growing divide exists between officers and communities, which he believes is damaging for society.
So I say hospitals, well, hospitals aren't even public buildings either. Publicly accessible, you have a right of access in order to report crime.
Yep.
In this circumstance, when a hospital, you've got a right of access to go and seek.
But all police stations and everything else aren't just to report crimes, okay? They are also there literally to get information, okay, which should openly be available to the public.
Yeah.
Okay, so because there are one or two things, and there is a form that I actually need to pick up as well, and I'm hoping I may be able to get it from here, because otherwise I might have to go to Guildford or Woking.
Yeah.
So no, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. To get paperwork, and so what
Yep.
I'm saying is, if you go in there filming,
Yep.
you may well be asked to stop
Yep.
filming.
No, that's
if you
fair
get
enough.
refused to, you may be asked to leave.
Yep.
And you would-
No, that's fine.
By all means,
That's fine.
if you want to go in and get paperwork or whatever, do so. If you want to try filming, you can try filming, but I can almost guarantee you'll be asked not to. Mainly, obviously, it is a private building. We might have people in there who are trying to report crimes.
No. This is the thing, okay? When I look at other members of the public, okay, if I do see anyone from the public, okay, actually in there, okay, literally, they will be blotted out.
The officer responds by defending internal accountability systems. He explains that it is extremely difficult for corrupt or racist officers to hide within the force, stating that the overwhelming majority of officers take pride in doing the job properly.
Okay, literally, all what I want to do, okay, is literally exactly what I've done with both of you, okay, is literally just engage with you, ask some questions, and try and see how people feel.
Yeah, okay. Like I say, I think as soon as you go in there with a camera out and start asking questions, they will ask you to stop filming.
Okay.
And like I say, I would, if that is the case, I would stop filming and get whatever paperwork you need, or if you ask to leave. Because if you don't leave, you could be removed. But I don't think it would get to that, because you seem very reasonable.
Oh no, this is the thing, okay, I'm not here to literally get somebody literally being aggressive or anything like that. It's literally, as you've seen, I'm very chilled out, okay, and I think that's the thing. I think so many people literally get uptight about small things, and literally it doesn't need to get that way.
Yeah.
So, and that's the reason why I waited here until somebody did actually come up to me before actually going in to actually ask.
The filmer raises a sensitive topic, the thin blue line patch worn on uniforms. He explains that some members of the public find it offensive and asks why officers choose to wear it and what it represents to them personally.
Where I can go to,
Yeah.
because I didn't want to just walk in there,
Yeah.
because I didn't think it was right to do so. That's why I waited until somebody actually approached me
fair
here.
enough. Yeah, like I say, there is reception, which is signposted.
Yep.
You're free to access in there. I wouldn't stop wondering why the rest of the site.
Oh no. As I said, it's only reception is what I want to go to.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know that you do like all the dog training and everything else here.
there's
Okay,
no
so
dog
yeah,
training.
and as I said, the only thing I need to do is literally go in and pick up a form at reception, and that's it.
That's fine. Yeah,
So
perfect.
perfect.
Right, thank
Can I
you.
say thank you very much for your
Have
time?
a good day.
Just one quick thing for you, okay? Because I know at this moment in time there's a lot of discussion surrounding to do with the thin blue line on the Union Jack.
Yes, this yeah.
Okay, because a lot of people say, and there are a lot of people on Facebook and other social media platforms, okay, that find it highly offensive, okay, because as you know, it's not part of your issue for uniform.
The officer explains that the patch is linked to a charitable organization supporting fallen officers and memorial causes. He states that for many officers, the symbol represents pride, remembrance, and service, not political messaging.
No.
Okay,
Although
it's-
these have been approved by.
Okay.
Sorry, please.
Yeah, but they don't issue with them,
No.
okay, and literally because where it doesn't actually stand out to actually be the country's flag,
No.
okay, and literally. So, how do you feel regarding it, and why do you feel that you need to wear it?
As in this patch.
Yep.
So this patch is fundraisers for CASPA,
Yep.
which is the Ceremonial Association of Surrey Police.
Yep.
They're a voluntary organisation within Surrey Police run by an ex-police officer, and it's a memorial type group. They don't receive any central funding, they don't receive anything else. Created the patches, one for us to effectively have our force insignia on our chests. We didn't have them elsewhere. I have a legacy patch, but we didn't have them elsewhere. So it's partly a force pride side of things. The thin blue line side, yes, I know there is issues in regards to the background in it.
The conversation uncovers lesser-known charitable work done by police-related organizations. The officer describes fundraising efforts, voluntary contributions, and support for emergency services and memorial events, much of it paid for by officers themselves.
However, if you go deep enough into it, it's much contested as to what it means and where it comes from and stuff like that. Most police officers see it as a sign of just, I'm the police sort of thing. You know, most sort of take the line of, oh, we're the thin blue line between good and evil, or whatever you want to say, sort of thing. Yeah, I know there's other connotations, but you can do that with anything, can't you?
Yeah.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
you can do it with anything. Sorry, what else did you ask?
Okay. So it was literally, so why you felt that you had to wear it and what it stood for.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think you've literally just
Sorry,
answered
say,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
It's more a memorial pack.
Yeah.
for
No,
most
which
of
I
the
think is fair enough. So you said about it being involved with Casper. Okay. So do they do other different fundraising events during the year?
So they fundraise themselves a little bit as well. Like I say, they're quite small.
The filmer reacts with genuine surprise and appreciation, pointing out that the public rarely sees this side of policing. He argues that if people knew more about this behind-the-scenes work, trust between police and the public could improve significantly.